Welcome to the Daily Sports Network. Enjoy the show.
What's up, guys? This is vlog number 1 on the Daily Sports Network podcast YouTube page. Yes, this is a new thing. You have to adjust my camera. We're going to try to put out new things this way. I'm not going to have a topic for you today, but the biggest thing I wanted to do was get as much single content as I could out, whether it be 10, 12-minute podcasts. That was my ideas. I've switched it to doing, or at least looking into the concept of doing a vlog. Trying to get them out as daily as I can, but there's no promises there. But trying to get some, single category content out to you, where if there's a big thing talking about in football, jump on, talk about it for 10 minutes, and it'll all go to my YouTube channel. And keeping the podcast separate, keeping everything podcast by separate, whether it's the Coach's Corner, whether it's the weekly episodic podcast, which we're working on outside of the Coach's Corner. That's still being worked on in the details of it, and working on possibly adding someone with me to be a co-host. So that's everything we're working on now on that concept. So when it came to the single piece stuff, I wanted to keep it for a vlog, and I wanted to start putting more stuff on YouTube rather than just the podcast. I think it'd be cool to have extra clips on it and stuff like that. So we're working on that right now. So this will be the first one of its kind, the vlog series, if you want to call it. But yeah, we'll post these out when something big comes up, or just whenever I feel like talking, whenever I feel like turning the camera on and talking with you guys. So we haven't been putting podcasts on with video so far, but that could change soon. I did do one of my podcasts last week that I recorded, the one that actually came out Friday, Coach Watkins. We had video on by accident, and it worked out. It just worked out. So I feel like it's a little more personal with video. So I haven't decided, what the concept of that video is going to be, whether I feel like I'm going to use it for YouTube or just use it for the personal interaction. I haven't figured all that yet. But if you guys have any, feelings towards that, please let me know in the comments. Please let me know however you can reach me. Just let me know about things. Another thing I kind of posted all over social medias today was I wanted to figure out what you guys like podcast-wise. Do you like it in that 15 to 30-minute range? Do you like it in that 30 to an hour range? I've so far found the best sweet spot is in that 30 to 35-minute range. I feel like that is the most listenable while getting the most content out. I had to put one out that was in the 13-minute range, and I felt like podcast-wise, that just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to get the information I needed out. It wasn't enough to get the information I wanted to get out. So I just felt like we could have done more than a 13-minute. I didn't feel comfortable with it. I felt the first couple that were an hour and a half, an hour, I felt those went too long and it dragged on. So I think that 35-minute range is about where I want to be podcast-wise. But if people, again, you have any suggestions, any ideas, any thoughts, let me know. For the weekly episodic ones, if we have an interview we're plugging in, they may go longer because we'll probably do the podcast and then drop an interview in. So, so I'm just trying to figure out timing wise. So definitely vote on those polls. So far, it seems like around 30 minutes is about what people want. Just based off people are voting more for 15 to 30 minutes and less for 30 to 40. But it's closer to split. So I'm definitely thinking closer to 30 minutes on that, which will work perfectly. Most of the interviews I've recorded so far have been in that 30 minutes. So those will come out. If you're watching this now, I should have the Coach's Corner schedule coming out within the next couple days, maybe tomorrow. Just finalizing when I'm going to post everything. Trying to keep it weekly because I think that's what people like the best. When I put that second one out, it just didn't feel like it rang as true when I posted it on Friday morning. So Friday at noon is where we'll be putting Coach's Corners out from here going forward. So yeah, we have a couple awesome coaches that we still haven't even put out. You know, I've put the Watkins out. I've put Gerbino. I've put Dave Churko. I've put Nicholas Banstra. I've put out Coach Kyle Hoffman. That's 5. I have a bunch left in the pipeline. If you haven't checked out those yet, definitely check it out. The Daily Sports Network on Spotify, Apple, Google, Anchor, wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you look underneath this video, there should be a few podcasts in the channel that I've uploaded, the audio-wise. I believe I have the Pat Murray interview, the UFC Jimmy Rivera, Kyle Hoffman's up, Dave Churko's up, and Nicholas Banstra's up. I think those 5 are up. So definitely check those out if you haven't yet. Yeah, but the whole point of this is to build up this YouTube channel. I think I want to be – this is the best way for me to be interactive with you guys on a daily basis rather than putting podcasts out that are 10, 12 minutes long, and it just doesn't feel like it's using the resources properly. I feel like that's going to put too much on the podcast channel, and it's going to really get it overcrowded, and that's not what I want. So I'd rather just have you guys subscribe to both, have content coming out on YouTube that's isolated, and podcast that's isolated. So content all over the streamings. I may do some live Instagrams, live Facebooks. That I'm 50-50 on because I like to have the copies of them. I know Instagram Live, you can save a copy. But YouTube Live, we talked about, we had such an issue with that. But as long as I do it on a different streamer, I could drop it into YouTube pretty easy. But yeah, Facebook Live, Instagram Live, I might run a couple of those here and there. We are looking, like I said, for another host, new podcast to the network. We're actually working with one right now that could possibly be a thing. We'll definitely get back to you on that. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff happening. This will be the first installment of this. So let me know how you feel about the vlog. Let me know what you want to see in these vlogs, because that's big too. Let me know what you want from these vlogs. Do you want single topics? Do you want me to discuss anything you think that is necessary to discuss in these vlogs? I'll do. I may do a vlog one day on the process of my podcast, of creating, editing, for people who are out there trying to do the same. And if you are doing the same, the Daily Sports Network podcast, we will host your podcast. But like I said, I'm not going to have an advertiser in this because it's video on YouTube. But Anchor.fm. You've heard me say that a bunch now. Anchor.fm, the best way to start your podcast. Little sidebar there. Speaking of those advertisers, could have a couple awesome advertisers coming up. But we have to keep the program growing. That's going to be very necessary. Is growing this program and growing the network. And right now, as I posted a few times, bonfire.com/DSN-podcast-1 is our merchandise. We have sweatshirts, t-shirts, tank tops, women's tank tops, kids t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, bunch of different stuff out there. And the more we can sell now, the more I can give you more things we're going to sell. So I can broaden it to be hats, mugs, tote bags, sweatpants. I can keep growing the more we buy now. So that's important, and it's important for the growth for this network. So let's keep pushing that. Let's keep trying to do as much as we can. And listen, merchandise is merchandise, but it's really simple to grow this program just to hit like, share, follow. Like, share, follow on all networks. So you're subscribing, you're sharing, you're liking, creating more, and I tried to explain this the other day, and it was that one of the coaches I was talking to, it's so simple to, not simple. Let me stop myself there. But it's so easy to find a way to grow a podcast by having guests, because you have your own network of people who look at your posts on whether it be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you have a coach on who has another 5,000 followers, and he drops it on his page. Maybe all 5,000 won't do anything with it, but if 50 do, if 100 do, and it just chain reacts, and we need that chain reaction to start processing a little better. I know there is a lot of people who have been sharing it. I thank you. A lot of people who have been subscribing. I actually finally was able to get into my Spotify, meaning when you sign up with Anchor, they're very good with their feeds. So for those of you who don't know, there is a link feed that you get. What they do is they share that around to all different networks for you. They do that for you. But what you have to do at some point is switch the feed to your name. Take it from Anchor and give it to yourself, which they're fine with. It's easy enough to go to different networks with it too. I haven't had a reason to leave Anchor, but I've asked, now it's under my name, so I can handle everything. So I was able to get into my Spotify, into my Apple Music, and see my numbers. And up until then, I didn't know. I knew what my views were because the views come through, but I had no idea about the subscriber counts because they didn't say anything about those, and they were, they were good, low, but better than I expected. So that's a positive note. But let's keep subscribing because I have this on each one. I have the subscriber notifications on. So when I wake up, it says the Daily Sports Network Pot Roast. Pot Roast. Did I say Pot Roast? Oof. The Daily Sports Network podcast, not Pot Roast, has posted a new podcast, whether it be Spotify, App Music. They both update me, so it tells you right away. You can jump on, hit it, boom. A couple of the things I want to hear from you guys is timing. Do you want them posted in the middle of the night, like overnight, so that when you wake up and you're on your way to work, on your way to school, on your way to whatever you're doing, they're there? Is it easier to have it there, or is it better if I put it at noon and it just gives it a time that you always know the podcasts are going to come out at noon? That's something I would love to hear feedback on. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Trying to figure out the logistics of everything we're doing here. Yeah. So this was vlog number 1. Definitely gonna put more of these out because it's fun just to get in front of the camera sometimes and reach out to my audience. And I say my audience. I don't even like saying that. I really don't like talking about me as a person, if that makes any sense. I listen. Another thing, if I didn't have to edit my podcast, I would never listen to one of my podcasts. I just can't do it. But to talk about bands or my audience, I want to turn this on. I want to record. I want to give you guys good content, and that's it. So yeah, this was vlog number 1. We're definitely going to do this more. Thank you guys for coming out, and leave your comments, leave your likes, leave everything. Thanks.